Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Engineering Lessons, and this is Unit 1.1, Lesson 10, the last lesson of this unit. And it is on sprockets, that's spelled this way. We just had the lesson on pulleys in terms of gears, which was Lesson 9, and now we're looking at sprockets. So, what's the difference between a sprocket and a pulley? So if you remember, I said that the method of transmitting force was a belt for pulleys, and it is a chain for sprockets. And I forgot to do dotted lines, but I'll do that right now. That shows that it's a chain. So there's a chain used. So what are some advantages of sprockets instead of pulleys? Well, they're not going to slip because the chain is connected to the gear teeth, like it feeds onto the teeth. If you can think about like a bike gear and then a chain that's on that, if you think about it, here's the gear, and then there's that dotted chain that goes around it, and it goes right in between the two teeth on there. And so that is one advantage. It's not going to slip. I mean, as we know, bike chains can slip sometimes, but that's only like if you run over a board with your bike, like I did once. And also, there's some greater strength than pulleys. Some disadvantages is that it can be more expensive. If expense is a big issue, then you might not want to choose a sprocket. It needs lubrication, which can be a challenge, and it's also noisy. If you can think about like a bike gear, it's like rubbing on it, like, well, that's not what noise it would make. It's like, well, that's not a good noise either. Here, let me see something here. This is what noise might make, like. Anyways, so it can be noisy. That's not a good thing always. Now, the equation for sprockets to find gear ratios. So, once again, it is the same as the gear ratios one, and this time it's exactly the same. So we have N out over N in, and if you remember, that wasn't the case for pulleys because they don't have teeth. These do. And then there's diameter out over diameter in, omega n over omega out. Remember, that one's the one that's different. And then torque out over torque in. So they all equal each other. So now, look at this problem. We can set up a proportion. We know we're going to try to find the RPM for gear B, we'll call this A and B. And this is the input gear, this is the output gear. So we can set up our equation. So we know the number of teeth for both of them, although it might be very hard to tell because that's terrible writing. This is supposed to be 15 teeth for the out, so that goes on the bottom. 15T, then 7 teeth for that one. That's what that's supposed to be. Then we are trying to find the RPM. We know for the top, that's going to be 20 RPM, and we don't know that, so we can do X RPM. Now we can cross multiply, and we get 7X equals 300, and then 300 divided by 7 is approximately 42.9. So when this is all done, the velocity of gear B is going to be 42.9. that would be all for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have a unit test, please see the playlist for all 10 videos. They go through the simple machines and then gears. Thanks for watching. Dash out.